Thank you all for tuning in tonight. It is that time of the month again. Well, we're a day late, but still, it is the time to head back to the year 1990 to savagely tear into a whole entourage of Nnof wax packs, courtesy of our buddy Ed Smiley. He picked these up about a month ago or so at a card shop for $1 a pack, which by today's standards is a pretty damn good deal considering boxes of these are typically about 70, 75 bucks. So grab these to continue this series that's been going on for over 5 years now, chasing after the legendary Frank Thomas, no name on front, Error rookie card. The last one just sold on January 30th for a whopping $14,000 in a PSA 6. Now, I remember about 6 months ago or so, PSA 6s were selling for like $6,000 to $7,000. They're now at $14,000. And of course, the chances of finding a card like that in one of these packs, very, very slim. But I am no stranger to letdowns as far as this series goes. Tonight might be different. So thank you guys all for being here. We got Paul, L, and everybody else. Appreciate you. Let us get down to some true wax pack and cardboard debauchery with 36 packs of 1990 tops. Mikey G in the house is PSA 10 up for auction. And of course, the weather here has been absolutely brisk, to say the least. I'm sure it probably is where most of you are at. So you have to pardon my raw and gnarled fingers and knuckles, which I just put some sort of random lotion on. And I hate it because now my hands are all greasy. It's not something I typically do, but I tried to spare you guys having a look at those for the next half hour. Daniel Young in the house. Remember, for 1 month says, ooh, I'm all bricked up. What is going on, Daniel? Appreciate you being a patron of the cult. The first card aside, the propaganda piece. We're going to see some Mandela effects in here. And as always, refer to the ongoing tally on the TPIA Facebook group of every single card I've ever pack pulled from this entire series. It's all up to date. It is pinned on the group. It's very, very impressive, actually. Mikey G, the link to Daniel's channel. Philly Guy says, good evening. What is happening, man? We'll see some Mandela effects in here, I'm sure. Paul L will call those out as they happen. Jack Morris, a second year. Dante Bichette, Kevin Elster, and Bobby Valentine. As a kid, I used to hate manager cards so badly because it robbed me of a potential PC player back then like Jose Leaned. Curses Bobby Valentine. It screwed me out of a Jose Lean card. Mike Wallera's in the house. Remember, for 45 months. As tonight is the night I can feel it. Mike, what is going on, man? I hope that you are right in assuming that. Let us manifest that. Maybe this Jose Uribe can bring that forth. Great rip for Groundhog Day. Yeah, you know what? I was sitting around last night. I'm like, do I got some content for a video? And I was sitting there like racking my brain trying to think of a video I could make or a film, and little did I know, it was the first of the month is when I normally do this. So this box was sitting there practically screaming at me, but I couldn't hear it. Yeah, Groundhog Day, Groundhog Phil, I guess, saw his shadow, not like it really matters. So 6 more weeks of winter, and boy, it sure seems like it, because it hasn't been above 0 degrees at night for, I don't know, what feels like an eternity. Propaganda piece of the binder pages. There's Eric Davis, Jeff Robinson. For some reason, that card doesn't look familiar to me. There's Mike Fitzgerald, Dave Anderson, Obi McDowell, and Vernansky, along with Hojo, which they always use that card to represent this product back then. Toy Tanium says the minimum front pressure is mounting. Yeah, to find that card in a pack, I don't think it's completely impossible. There might only be like one box that exists that still has that card in it from back in 1990. There's Tommy Gregg. Hojo again, the All-Star card, of course, looking for other partial blacklist cards, which I flipped through these so fast that I probably passed over them before. And I'm actually wearing this shirt right now, courtesy of Brian Smith, but the black variant. The sweet throwback threads, Mike Pagliarulo. There's another manager card, Joe Morgan, Willie McGee, Larkin, Bobby Witt Sr., Malaki, Jim DeShays, and Willie Randolph, ending that pack. Ripping right along. The last box I opened in January was pretty much a dud. It was a partial box, though. I don't even remember how many packs we had, like 32 or something like that. There's Sierra, Chris Gwynn, Kent Anderson and his scum stash. There's Mike Dunn, unfortunately not the 1988 $2,000 Mike Dunn that's sitting next to me in a top loader. Jim Rice, Fred McGriff All-Star card, Jimmy Jones. There's a Bob Walk. Matt Noakes. Oil Can Boy, there's Wes Gardner. Paul L says Ken Anderson Mandela effect. You know, I was kind of thinking that too. I don't remember the last time I saw that card or it ever existing back in 1990, but we'll have to go to the spreadsheet to find out for sure. Greg Maddox, Tony Fernandez, Mike Dyer ends that pack. I've never had an experience like the 87 Topps inserts in 90 Topps again. That was probably about 5 years ago now. That was a pretty epic moment in the history of this channel. Dave West and his giraffe-like neck antics. Starting this pack off, Steve Farr, Steve Olin, Jeff Parrott. There's Barfield, Candelaria, Donnie Baseball showing up early. Roy Smith in the X-Files background. See, I told you I got greasy, oily fingers. It's going to be absolute chaos in here tonight. Philly Guy says, does our director of prestigious records know how long everyone has been a part of his glorious cult? I'm curious who the OGs or TPIA Mount Rushmore. Paul L. does have a lot of documentation backed up. He probably could answer some of those questions. There's Franklin Stubbs. Speaking of Paul L., I'm sure he might have a quote for that card. Ron Hassey. Davis, Randy Kramer. I feel like I was stoked on that Randy Kramer back in 1990. I don't know why. It's almost embarrassing to admit that now, but it has to come out. Fred Tolliver is going to end that freaking pack. Speaking of chaos, we got chaos 11624 in here. Says, holy sheets, let's freaking go. An MFing Michael Jordan rookie card. Well, you never know. If I'm going to find an MFing Michael Jordan rookie card, it's going to be in a random pack of 90 Topps. That'd be a pretty sinister thing to do to somebody. I appreciate that, Chaos. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Very sinister thing to do would be to get a box of these and open a pack and plant a reprint Frank Thomas in there, which something that happened here many years ago, or a Michael Jordan rookie, an MFing Michael Jordan rookie, I should say. 5,000 Ks. If you really want to be a rascal, that would be a way to get back at somebody. What the hell happened to Mark Langston? All right, so this is an anomaly, and we will obsess over this now and forevermore. Major printing blemish the whole way down that card could lead to something big. You will see that card again, I promise, in a future oddities and abnormalities collection that is building up as I find cards scattered all through my house. There's a Scudder short print. Frank White, Joe Hesketh, and Moyer. I don't know why, but there's a good bit of these cards that I'm not recognizing. It's been a long day, but might be a lot more Mandela effects out of the list. Paul also has been around since near the beginning. I have vague ideas of who has been around the longest, but not completely sure. Most of the viewers from 2019 are the yesteryear list. Yeah, the abandonment list, Paul L. does have that. He will not release it, although I have seen it. There's always more people to add to the abandonment list. Brent's Card Breaks. What's going on, man? Long time no see. He says, hey, John, what's new? What is going on, Brent? Pleasure to see you, man. Check out Brent's Card Breaks and subscribe to him. Mikey G can post a link to his channel. There's Billy Doran. Not a whole lot around here, man. Just having cracked dry skin from the icy tundra outside and opening 90 Topps to try to stay warm. There's a Swindell. There's a Necklace Wonder, Davey Johnson. Another manager card. Cargovice, Andres Galarraga, Gary Gaetti, and no Frank Thomas. Other rookie cards we're looking for. I'm sure everyone knows them, but Juan Gonzalez, Barney Williams, and Sammy Sosa. This is what happens when you put dry skin cream on. You can't hold on to the cards. Toy Thames is freezing your tutors off, so to speak. Absolutely. There's Stan Javier, and that glorious unibrow. There's the Hawk Dawson, Mike Gallego, Jeff Montgomery with a gigantic dip in. Bo Verdant Plesac for Wally Moon's unibrow, who I can guarantee is not lurking in the background. There's Puckett's, more binder pages. There's Cal Daniels and his fake face. Ramirez, Kurt Young, Portugal, Dennis Cook, second-year card. We salute you. The Wild Gunslinger, Kevin Wickender, Rivera, and a 65 throwback to Koufax. You can burn Kenny Maldonado's to stay warm. Kenny Maldonado was definitely a player I'm pretty sure we did not like back then. Paul F's first watch, 2018, started watching all the time in 2020, became a known member of the cult in 2022. Yeah, I'd be curious to know, too, who has been here the longest since the early days. And please do not go back and watch those early videos because I think they are absolutely awful, especially the very first ones. That's not a plug either. Don't watch them. They suck. Pat Combs, there's Tim Burke, Bob Nepper, and that wild bedhead, Eric Yelling, Dwight Evans, Tom O'Malley. There's Daryl Evans. And finally, we get the propaganda piece for the debut of Topps Magazine. I have that somewhere in a box, but no clue where. Vaughn Hayes, the scraggly mullet of Yount, Felix. There's Ernest Riles, Dave Schmidt, and Tracy Jones ending that pack. Jason says, hey, what specific series or box should I look for if I want to buy 1990? What I recommend, if you're looking for the Frank Thomas no-name, I would recommend buying the jumbo grocery packs. They're just super expensive now. I actually have a sealed case of them, but I don't want to open it because they're very scarce. There was one point where you could buy those packs for like $10. I found a guy that was selling me for $7 for a little bit, and I probably should have bought all of them, but now they're like, I don't know, I think they're like 20, 25 bucks a pack. They have 103 cards, I want to say. I feel like your best bet, I've never seen that Bill Kruger in my life. Paul L., what do you think about that one? Mandela Effect, is Kevin Bass or Trevor Williams? I would put my money mostly on the jumbo grocery packs. They're jumbo racks, whatever you want to call them. The sweet Topps binder. I have a couple of those also laying around, as with everything else. Chuck Finley, Bud Black, Todd Worrell, Dan Pasqua, and the Gold Cup of Greg freaking Briley ending that pack. Paul L. says Mandela Effect. Scott Ferguson in the house. Scott's has been here since December 2018. Scott F. just started my own channel. One day I can only hope to have the wacky antics that go around here over on my channel. And I started watching some of your videos, Scott. I subscribed to him, and please do so if you have not done already. He just started his channel up, and he opens some of the same stuff you'll see on here. I know he did a box break. It was a couple parts of 89 Fleer, chasing after those iconic error cards. So check him out, help him get started. I think the last time I looked, he had about 20 subs. So if everyone goes and subs to him right now, he'll have closer to 200. Appreciate that, Scott. Looking forward to seeing what else you have up your sleeve. Belinda rookie card. There's a Chuck Carey, Deion Sanders. I will never consider that a rookie card ever, although some people do. A lot of people do, actually. Joe Price, Dravecki, which I totally forgot today. I was talking to Ed about this. I completely forgot Dravecki had to have his arm amputated because of cancer, which is crazy. I knew it ended his career, but I don't remember ever hearing he got his arm chopped off, but I was a little kid back then. Second year Brady Anderson, but Dravecki, great pitcher. It's a shame that happened to him. Scott Geralt's not the laser eye. Scott Geralt's from 86 Donruss. I haven't shown that one in a while. Probably just buried in this stack of all this randomness that consumes my entire life and soul. There's a link to NECC cards. Check him out. I'm looking for more printing blemishes now after that Langston, Mitch Webster, and that awful rash. Making me sick. Probably the same feeling that I get from that you're getting from looking at these cracked knuckles. There's Kevin Hickey, the first part of the trifecta. So the main thing here that we're trying to complete the trifecta in order to summon what we've all come to know and love. The three-headed Mickey Weston, the Nick West SSP, but at the very least, perhaps we'll come across the Frank Thomas all name on front. Hopefully one or the other. But the first part of the trifecta had been found. Checklist card. Mosby. Dick Schofield just looks absolutely in horror in that photo. And Brian Downing. Where's the all name on front? That was a good time, man. That was a good timing. Mitch Webster looks like Craig Ferguson on this 1990 card. He definitely does. He most definitely does. What the hell always packs upside down? I remember that ever being a thing. Paul Coleman. That would have been put directly into a top loader in 1990 for whatever reason. Kelly Downs and the Blonde Scum Stash. Storm Davis, Ed Nunez. This is Jerome Walton Gold Cup. Probably would have had yourself a big, fat, actual $2 bill in your pocket, trading that one into an LCS, or as some people call them, local LCS. And we respect that. Mark Grace, Tom Foley, Jose Alvarez, and there is a strawberry. Mikey G, what did I miss? I missed something else? missing everything tonight. Too busy trying to hide my cracked knuckles. Trevor Williams is in the house. Kevin Bass sighting. Trevor Williams actually sent me a package, and I didn't know where to fit this in. I don't do mail day videos anymore. I thought about doing one because I got some pretty freaking cool stuff in the mail lately, but I've kind of put the kibosh on a series. But I will randomly show some things that do come in, and this is one of them. Now, if you're on the TPIA Facebook group, you might have seen this posted by Trevor Williams, but it is the Ken Griffey Jr. starting lineup from, I think, 1990 or 91, the Exorcist edition. Complete 180 on that head. It is freaky as hell. And he sent that to me. I opened that box and just literally laughed out loud. Imagine getting that as a kid and then you just put that on your shelf, just peering over at you all night. Creepy as hell. Thank you for that, Trevor. That will be adorning the TPIA studios for years to come. Junior, the broken neck. Retro jersey. Yeah, that is a retro jersey. All kinds of goodies that popped in today. I posted these a little bit in the Facebook group, but in case you haven't seen these, for the fictitious TPIA Fest 2026, these are promo photos sent by Pat Cuff, and they're freaking awesome, of the levitating Walkden, of course. And if that actually happens, and Walkden is doing an autograph signing there while he's suspended inside of a plastic bubble from the ceiling of this auditorium, he can be signing these for you. Get those made by the thousands. so freaking cool. We got Brian Smith in the house. Is Fred Manrique coming up? What is happening, Brian? I just mentioned you before you woke up from your nap. No Manrique's yet for you, but I got a big stack of 87 top Cecilio Guantes. Jim Abbott Gold Cup. Andres Thomas. There's Rance Mullenix. Henneman, Calderon, and Frank Williams. Ending that pack. We have not seen any rookies yet. The only prominent players really saw are Donnie Baseball, and I guess we did see a few Hall of Famers like McGriff. Nolan Ryan was in there. But really screwing us on the rookie cards. Jay Buhner. It's a creepy card of him. Cal Ripken All-Star card. There is the second part of the trifecta. The Mark Williamson. No sign of Mickey Weston yet either. Randy Reddy. Except for the three-headed Weston. There's Greg Brock, Pagliarulo again, and Joe Morgan manager card. Brian Smith is stoked on the Cecilio Guantes. Tell Pat Clements happy birthday when you see him in the sets. If we do see him, we will definitely be wishing him a happy birthday. Joel Skinner starting his pack off. Clinton Ray with the walked-in emoji, and Phil Stevenson with his limp wrist and antics coming in hot. Lee Brandt, there's Brian Clutterbuck in that god-awful, filthy, sweat-stained hat. Never fails to make me sick to my stomach seeing that one. Atlee Hamaker. There is the debut mag, which I actually, yeah, that's sitting right next to me too. Further proving that everything is sitting next to me. The premiere issue of Topps debut magazine. Larkin, there's Wood again. Mosby and Dick Schofield. Ending that pack. Cornette, what's happening, man? Well, listen, just had to watch 10 minutes of ads to get in here. Don't put me on the abandonment list. We're actually talking about you probably about 10 minutes ago. And you were deemed on the abandonment list yet again, but you've proven us all wrong. Dan Billardello. Usually a precursor to Bernie Williams is Dan Billardello. I've opened enough of this to last me a lifetime. It's forever burned in my brain. Joe McGrain, Abe Bartlett, Giamatti. I used to be real pumped on that car as a kid. Like big time. It was probably in a screw-down case back then. Devon White. There's Downing Balecki and Ron freaking Darling. Ending that pack. So the first rookie shows up in Bernie Williams. And Bert Behome by 11. Missed him after that rookie. How the hell did Ken Hill not get the gold cup, Robert says. Oh no, he probably pissed a lot of people off with his exorbitant 89 Donruss prices. Yeah, so this is actually the car we're looking for. Pack pulled this a few years ago. That is a legitimate. I'm on front. I'm going to pull it off the screen real quick so you can't zoom in and question that claim. Tom Gordon Gold Cup. So usually Tom Gordon is a precursor to Kurt Schilling, who is also the precursor to freaking Frank Thomas. And I haven't pulled a Frank Thomas rookie in a while. The third part of the trifecta has been found. The three-headed Weston will remain on screen the rest of this rip. We have summoned him officially. Frank Thomas, is it the error card? I wouldn't know what to do if it was. No one would ever hear from me again. You can be sure of that. Or even partial blacklist would be awesome. I'd love to have one of those. It's not either one of those. Another letdown. Another month, another letdown. Very, very used to that over the years, but it's been a while since I've been pulled this rookie card, so I still love it regardless. Thomas has come forth. Crazy what those heirs are selling for these days. No Thomas. Please don't leave. There's still a chance. If you don't find one, at least stick around for the debauchery. You'll probably miss something that you'll regret down the road. Toy Tame says, hope for an Nnof second. I actually was hopeful too. I really was. When Mike Wallera said that earlier, I was like, I think he's right today. Tim Tuffle looks high as hell. He was siding with us, so we were going to pull that. Carmelo Castillo, Craig Biggio, not a partial blacklist, obviously. Steve Davis. Keep seeing this damn Rance Mullinix. Paul L., I think we got to put some people on the Omen list. John Moses has already been on there for a long time. Mike G says, PSA 10 is expected to fetch 250 grand. Yeah, I forget the pop is on the 10s of that, but I feel like one sold like a year or two ago for around 200,000. Ed Spouse says, next is a Jeff King, no white on back. Yeah, apparently that's a thing too that's been uncovered recently. You gotta love that with older junk wax era cards with these new airs are coming out. That might not even be a new air. I've never even heard of it before, and I feel like a lot of people have never heard of it to the point where PSA is not even grading cards and recognizing this air. I've not seen a Jeff King yet, but it's something with the text and the black box in the back. Ed, what was it again? Yellow, something weird like that. I honestly forget already. Mike G said, John's the same one up for auction. Is it the same one? So it's been for sale for a while, or they just finally put it up? Nolan Ryan, 5,000 Ks again. Haven't seen that one yet. Mandela Air. Joe Oliver having the time of his life. There's Dan Quisberry. OG Omen, along with John Moses. And in that pack, no Larry Walker yet. Or Sosa. Need to pull out a 98 Beckett to see what Sosa rookie was going for. Luckily, I have those sitting next to me, too. If you're in a hurry tonight, then please forgive me, because I'm in the mood to pull out all kinds of stuff. And I'm not talking about Beckett's or cards. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to later in 98. We have a December 98 Beckett here. With Big Mac. You can tell this is my childhood Beckett because it's thrashed to hell and back. 1990 tops. Ooh, Ender Jones. That card has skyrocketed lately. He used to be able to pick that up for like less than $10. 94 SP set. Be giving that away at the next standard video, probably. Let's see what Sosa rookie was valued at in 1990. 90 Leaf set was going crazy back then. Thomas rookie was $60. They might have come down a little bit since this. Here we go. 90 tops. Look at this. No name on front. $1,500. Back in 91 when Beckett first acknowledged the air, I think it was a $5 card. It was either 5 or 15. I remember going through my Beckett's and finding exactly the first month that Beckett pinpointed that. So Sosa back in 1998 was a $5 card, which is pretty crazy to even be that much, honestly. Juan Gonzalez, $250. Considering that Sosa rookie, you can find those in quarter boxes now, and that's been that way for many years. $5. So it was the most valuable card in the set, even more than the Frank Thomas back in 1998. Pretty crazy. Sosa 90 per deck, $12. Maybe someday I'll make some videos going back through old Beckett's, because I love to do that. And this is actually a crazy addition, too, because you have McGuire on one side, and it flips upside down to Sosa on the other. That's pretty nuts. Chaos says, pull it out. Mike Willeris says, I'm in the mood to pull out. Have we made it to TPIA for dark already? It's not quite, but anything goes around here anymore. Carmelo Martinez, hated him as a kid. Appreciate that, Mike. You know, we might have to move after dark up to like 9 p.m. or even 8:30. Can't wait till 10 o'clock. I know Brian Smith agrees with me on that one. Greg Gagne, Roberto Kelly. There's Bob Boone. Haven't seen Randy McCammon yet either. What did the 87 Fleer update McGuire go for in that Beckett's? That's a good call, too. People will be real pissed off at me pulling it back out again. Not the Beckett either. 87 Fleer update. McGuire's $25. And when we used to see these up arrows, we always said it was $25 and going up. Like present tense, like it is on its way up. But what it really meant is it went up from the previous month. But we knew that, and we still didn't care. Like, yeah, it's $25 and it's freaking going up. Give me $25 for it. Greg Maddux, extended rookie, $12. Matt Williams was going down, as we say. Yeah, probably should make videos going through these because I haven't looked through these in so long. The glossy set in 88's going nuts. I got to put this away. I got to put it away or else we're going to sit here and look at Beckett's all night. Paul says I sold like 5 for $30 a piece that time. That's crazy. Yeah, you can usually find those. A lot of times, I mean, the hobby has changed so much in the last couple of years. Even the prices of wax, even like an 87 Topps Berry Bonds, you used to find those all day, every day in the dollar boxes at any card shop or card show. Now they're like $5-6. So a lot of these, even junk wax era cards, or early junk wax era cards, seem to be kind of on the rise. I don't know if it's because of new people getting into the hobby or what it is. Greg Jeffries and a PSA 10, those are valuable. Ken Hill and the Griffey Gold Cup comes out. Of course, it's a bloody scab card. Put it on eBay for 10 grand, like everybody else. Craig Worthington Gold Cup, a Girardi second year, Johnny Ray, Marty Barrett. Kevin B says 90 Topps, load up the baseball pinball machine with the cards. Yeah, Kevin, I think you found a pinball machine that dispenses cards, right? Or I can't remember if you were telling me about it or you found one. Maybe he was looking for one. It was a while ago, but I had never heard of such a thing. You play pinball and you get cards, but back then that was a pretty popular thing where they had card dispensing machines like at major stores and everything else. I had 2. I want to say I got rid of one. I still have the OG machine. I got to put it on display here soon. It's pretty freaking awesome. I always wanted one of those. Mike Brumley, Terrified of Life, and the Ball. S.B. Brooks, Lilliquist, Louis Polonia, ending that pack. Or if the pandemic had to do with the hobby. It definitely did. Pre-pandemic prices were nuts. And I talk about this somewhat frequently back in, I'm sure if you guys are around in 2018, 2019, we were buying wax boxes for like $3 to $5. And I'm not talking about anything crazy like 90 Fleer, 88 Fleer, stuff like that. You could buy it for less than $10 at like any flea market, even card shows and stuff. You'd go there and they'd have $10 wax. Now it's like, it's not really a thing anymore. You're just very, very hard. Even like 88 Donruss, boxes of those are like $15, $20. You used to be able to find those for $5. Like people couldn't give them away. Pocket All-Star card, then the pandemic happened and everyone pulled their cards out of the attics and everything else, and it kind of sparked interest again. And to me, it's still going strong. I go to card shows and they're still packed with people. There's Ed Whitson. Tim Jones, Jose Leaned, no sign of Jeff King yet. Rene Gonzalez in that comb over. Craig Lefferts ends that pack. Toy Tames ditch the precious metals, buy junk wax. It's crazy because, and honestly, that's like, it's not really that far-fetched of an idea. I'll never forget I think it was 2018, my brother and I went to the National, and he bought, he bought like damn near 100 boxes of 87 Topps for $7 a box. $7. I think there was close to 100. And like, they wanted to get rid of them. Now, 87 Topps, I think wax boxes are like, what, close to $70? I saw one of the card shows at yesterday for $75. I'm like, geez. But even like after that, in the early 2020s, you could still buy them for $30 a box, $20 a box. I was seeing them for all the time. Pat Perry and his Pale Pits. But those have really spiked. Sergio Valdez and that creepy side eye. Every time you open a 90 Topps pack and it's not the no-name Bill Murray ages a year. Bill Murray and his band were actually in my town like late last year, and I didn't even like really know about it till after it happened. And I really wanted to get a Ghostbusters poster I have that I had Dan Aykroyd signed by him, but it was like super exclusive, and I missed my chance, I guess. Omar Vizquel is Eddie Murray and Mike Felder ending that pack. hopefully 2026 will be the year of all kinds of debauchery. And the early stages have happened on a production that I've claimed from years ago. I'm being very secretive with this project, this TPIA project. If it comes together, it will be pretty freaking fun to do and pretty awesome. I don't know if Paul L. will know what this is, but it was something I teased a long time ago. And I'm not going to say anything else about it, but it was a pretty major production. Tim Cruise, Doug DeCenzo, Frank DePino, Gallagher, there's Tony Gwynn, first time seeing that, Trevor Wilson, Jeff Weatherby, and there is Pat Clements. Happy freaking birthday to you. Trevor Williams' 1991 Slugfest used a pinball to simulate a baseball game and dispense baseball cards. One of my favorite pinball machines. I think that's exactly what Kevin was referring to. That sounds identical to what he was talking about. If he's still in here, he can confirm that, but it sounds just like it. I've never seen that one before. I want to say that after I heard about it, I looked on eBay, and I think there might have been one on there for like $3,000. But I don't think it was digital, though. I think it was all mechanical. There's Drew Hall, off the set of Futurama. Alejandro Pena. There's Robin Youts. Benedict. Walt Weiss. No Sign. And there's Cecilio Guante for Brian Smith. If he's still awake, here's what we got left. I'm going to push these off to the side. Thomas was found, the corrected version, obviously. Griffey Gold Cup. And the three-headed Weston was summoned. A lot happening here tonight. Mikey G is calling for a Pee-wee spotting. Pee-wee is definitely here. Being creepy as ever. Going back to his smoke-stained chair. Paul L. is pumped on the Pee-wee sighting. Put this off to the side. Great. There's Juan Gone rookie. A $2.50 card back in '98. Now you can usually find in a quarter box or a dime box. There's Van Slyke. Tony Phillips. Mark Knudsen in that sissy throw. Bill Schroeder. Guthrie. Hamilton. And Sid Fernandez. I agree, Pee-wee. Glenn Allen Hill is a huge prospect. Have you pulled him yet? No sign of Glenn Allen Hill or the Civil War era Mitch Williams. Those are definitely deemed SPs around here now. How many of the correct Frank Thomas you have in your PC? I got rid of most of them. At one point I did have, I don't know, it wasn't really all as many as you would think that there would be. I have one in my rookie box, one with gum stuck to the back of it, which is pretty neat. And I think I have the O-Peachy. That might be, and maybe one other one, and now this one. I think I had like 30 at some point. There's Nolan Ryan, first time seeing that. Kevin Ritz. Kevin Ritz is usually a precursor for Juan Gonzalez, not the other way around. Kurt Manwaring, Dwell Alexander, another sissy throw there. Brooke Jacoby, and the Crime Dog. Love and Life. George Brett says, 24-hour stream upcoming. Yeah, the 24-hour live stream will be happening. That is my childhood collection. That's something that will definitely happen, come to fruition sometime. That's not the major thing I was talking about. The major thing I was talking about involves a rigorous writing process. I don't know if Paul L. knows or remembers what that was that I promised many years ago. Kevin McReynolds and his lack of scum stash, thrown off by that. Balboni McGuire. McGuire is always a precursor to the most hideous man to ever walk this earth. There he is. Zane friggin' Smith. That will definitely be giving every one of us nightmares. Second year, Finley, Ripken, Waddy Herzog, Pendleton, and Steve Bushell, and the flapping mullets. Chaos is returning the mailman. I should have brought the mailman back whenever I had a store, but I have tinkered with the idea of him, but that was not the big idea. We're talking like big production for this idea. I don't want to say anything about it because if my buddy knows I'm talking about it, he'll probably not want to do it anymore. So it's got to be full secrecy. There's Jerry Royce. Lemke having himself a good cry. Pascal Perez. There's John Wathen. Jim Gott. Trevino. Reed. Bill Landrum and Raphael Belliard. I forget where I was at. I don't know. I think it was a YouTube video that I stumbled across. But somebody was calling Raphael Belliard a big star back in the 90s. It's like, I must have missed that year. Streaming until I pull a 91 Elite card. That might take you a while. Or some people open one pack and find it. It took me 16 boxes to find one. And even then, opening a whole case, you're not really guaranteed one. Pee-wee Valentine special. I should probably make that a thing. All right, I know this side of the car, we have George Brett throwing a temper tantrum. First time seeing that one in this box. Pat Sheridan, Bo Jackson. Lawless, Mike Scott, and Ken Howe. Jeff Blauser was definitely, I mean, if we pull that Beckett back out, well, 98 Blauser cards probably weren't really worth much, but I feel like 88 Fleer Jeff Blauser was like a $2 card at one point. We hated them, but we didn't like the Braves back then, obviously, because they were big rivals. Did not like Jeff Blauser, but he had some collectability to him. Michael Lair says G.I. Joe opens Paul Aaron's disc. I like the way you're thinking. This is like way beyond that, though. You'd have to really go back to probably like 2019 era, I would say, where I promised this, that I was going to make this, and it involves writing. That's like probably, I'd like to give out more hints, but that's probably as far as I can go. Nolan Ryan, 5,000 Ks. Lansford is going to give away to a Walker rookie. Not a bad box. The only one we're missing is the $5.98 Sammy Sosa. Glenn Braggs or Sabo. Johnson, second year. Steve Frey looking kind of sassy in that photo. And Don August ending that pack. Writing a novel on the Paul Aaron's disc. Junk Wax Jeopardy. It's not Junk Wax Jeopardy. I wish it was. I still have that game board, though. I'm not, like, tech savvy enough to, like, do all that kind of streaming stuff. I wish I was. I looked into it recently with, I don't know, different things, and it was... I lost interest real quick. Proving that I must have OCD or something, because I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's way too much work. It's way more than just hitting a button on my phone and opening packs and commenting on scum stashes. If it requires more than that, I probably don't want to do it. Have I pulled any blacklists? Never that I've actually realized. I've never seen any. Sheffield Gold Cup. Mark Gubaza. And there's Lee Mazzilli. Along with Boggs, Hansen. Now that I'm actually looking for that Jeff King, it's nowhere to be found, of course. Glavin and creepy side-eye of Mike Stanley. Is Ricky still doing videos? Yeah, he's still doing videos. He definitely is still doing videos. Big Wheels reveal. That's a good call, Mikey. I still need to make that video. That's not what I was referring to, though. I don't think anyone knows this. I definitely proclaimed it a few times and said it was going to be a thing. And it's actually, the last clue I'll give you, it's a parody of something that already exists. That's probably the last clue I can give away to. Molitor, Randy McCammon rookie card showing up. Not the seductive ways of Randy McCammon, which I did have sitting next to me, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. There's too much sitting here. Murphy, Albert Bell. Oh, shit. Paul L caught me off guard with that one. Paul L caught me off guard big time with that one. There's Manrique for Brian Smith. You had to dig really, really deep to pull that one out. There's the middle school librarian, Greg Harris. Jack Clark. And there's Vince Coleman, record breaker. One frigging pack left. This is it. Might have been opened in 1990 with a no name on front planted inside of here. Broken promises list at 107 and rising, Steve says. Paulo got it. Paulo got it. That's a deep cut right there. Ventura, Tom Pagnozzi, Tyler Houston, there's Treblehorn. 91 Fleer case tonight. I wish I had one on standby. I don't have a 91 Fleer case, but what I do have is 2 boxes of 92 Topps Kids that if you tempt me enough, I'll probably open them both back to back and then hand collate the set while I'm still alive. There's Sweet Lou Whitaker, and there is Tom Kelly and his frostbitten nose. Like that's how my nose looks every day in this below freezing temperatures. Shouldn't even say below freezing, below zero. Paul says, hey, I got it 10 minutes ago. I didn't even see it. Drebeck and Will the Thrill Clark ends that pack. No Sosa rookie, but we did come home with a Bernie, a Walker, a Juan Gone, the Frank Thomas corrected, a Griffey. So not a bad box. And we freaking summoned the three-headed Weston. So it doesn't really get much better than that unless we actually pulled the error card that I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to pull in my life. Ed Swan says, remake the MacGyver card shop episode. That would be sick. Drebeck called to say goodnight. I haven't got any drunk phone calls in my dreams from Drebeck lately, but I'm kind of missing those days. So not a bad pull and group here from 90 Tops. I don't have any more boxes of this, so I don't know if we'll do this in March or not, but I might have something for you guys tomorrow night, and if I don't, I will definitely be doing a live sports card sale on Wednesday on YouTube, not on the other platform, on YouTube. I got a lot of goodies lined up for this sale, so you're not going to want to miss this. We might even sell this card, which we all know the value of that one, so hopefully you'll join me for that. And I also have a wax collection video coming, a rookie box update video, an error collection video, and more empty freaking promises. That's it for tonight, guys. You guys freaking rule. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully I'll see you back tomorrow night.